Hi there, it's Natasha from NFYFC here with a short video on how to use Zoom whiteboards. Now, first of all, when you do a whiteboard, if you come down to the bottom of your Zoom screen, you'll see the Share Screen button. If you press on that button, you will be given some options. So one of them is your whole screen, and the second option here is your whiteboard, which we'll come into in a moment. Just quickly, whilst we're here, we'll go through some of the other ones that are available to you. So if we click on the advanced, if you have a PowerPoint with a graphic, sometimes we use the NFYFC one, and you can put that as a virtual background. You can also just share a portion of your screen or some music. And if you have a second camera, I have a webcam and I also have one on my laptop as well, and you can actually use both cameras, so you can have that as well that you can share. And you can also share files from Dropbox or OneDrive or whatever other platform you use. But today we're going to concentrate on having a whiteboard. So I'm going to click the whiteboard option and click share, and you should now see that we've got a nice whiteboard, surprisingly enough. Now the first area we're going to look at is the drawer. So as I've just hovered over the drawer, you see that I've got some options come out there. So I just hovered over, I've got different lines, straight line, wiggly lines, which is freehand drawing, some rectangles and some different circles, whether they've got solid fill or not, or empty. Okay, so let's just do a very simple line drawing. So I'm just going to click on the screen and I can expand that line, and I can draw another, move that around, and I can draw another line. So this can be helpful if you're doing directions, or if you just want to show someone a quick idea. You can add some arrows, or maybe there is something at that point that you want to point to, or we have some rectangles. So if we do an empty rectangle, now at the moment everything that I'm drawing is in blue. So if we come over to the format, I can also change the colour. So the next time I draw something, it will now be orange. And I can also change the thickness of the lines. So if I choose the thickest line, and if I now draw a circle, well, now I've got a nice fat line there. You can see that we've got different options there. So that's our draw tool, so very helpful if you just want to sketch out an idea. Okay, we also have a text tool. Now this is probably the one I use the most when I'm training, so that if we just have a little whiteboard as if we were writing down ideas. Again, we can choose the colour of our text, so we may want some black text, and I can start typing. So if I'm doing a brainstorming session, there might be ideas, and I'll have idea 1, idea 2, whatever people come up with. Okay, so we've then got some text there. Now if I do another text box, I can do a second idea 3. We can also then have some, I could draw an arrow to one particularly, but also I have something called the spotlight tool. So traditionally when I'm training, you might have a laser pointer, so you can be showing people and say, well, that's idea 1, that's idea 2, that's idea 3. The other option is to have a little arrow, so you can say, well, this is the one I'm working on, and then we're going to do this, and then we're going to do that, and then we use idea 3. So we've got some arrows to highlight what we're talking about as we're talking. So those are very useful. We have a select tool, so if there's something that you've created, we can then select on it, move it, or I can select on something else and say, well, actually, we're not going to have that there at all. But if I wanted to get rid of it, I can use the eraser. So I can just click on it with the eraser and get rid of certain things. So I didn't mean to do that one. I can get rid of that. So that's our eraser there. And We also have some undo and redo buttons, and lastly of all we have some stamps. So we might just have a little arrow that we want to use, or a tick can be useful. Say, that's the idea that we're going to go with. We also have some nice gold stars if you think that's a great idea. So yeah, we can have all sorts of different things there. So it's quite simple to use Zoom Whiteboard. It is just like using a normal whiteboard, but we do have the added benefit in that we can save it. So if I use the little drop down here, we can say whether we want to save it as a PNG, that's a graphic file, so Portable Network Graphic it stands for. So you can have it as an image, or you can save as a PDF. So if I click on the PDF and I hit save, it saved it, and I can actually see where it is. So if I just hit save and go show in folder, it will create a folder in your documents for Zoom with the date of the meeting, and it will have those PDF of the whiteboards there. So let's just close that back down. And if you want to, you can clear all the drawings. You can clear, if you've got several people sharing, and I will show you how to do that in the settings in a moment, you can clear all those. So if we want to clear the whole thing, we'll just do clear all drawings. But say you want to get those ideas back, you can, the undo, sorry, will work. So you can go back to where you were. Okay, so that's all the functions there. So we've looked at selecting items, we've looked at text, we've looked at drawing, the stamps, arrows, which is like your laser pointer or where you're talking at any particular time, the eraser, your formatting, undo, redo, clearing the screen and saving the files. When you've finished with the whiteboard, all you need to do is stop share on the top of the screen there, and that will take you back to your Zoom. Okay. Where we have the screen share, there's a little arrow to the side there, and this is where we can control who can share the screen. So at the moment it's only set to one participant can share at a time, and if we click on the advanced options, we can see we've got the one participant, at the moment only the host. So if we had other people on this call, we could have all participants and they can all be sharing and using that whiteboard. Okay, so that is Zoom